Okay, today we're going to be talking about the introductory paragraph of our sample essay as a reminder of how to write our regular introductory paragraph for our own essay. So remember, your introductory paragraph needs to start with a hook. The purpose of a hook is to draw a reader in. It makes them want to read your essay. So let's look at our first two lines here. As people read the story, they often get images in their mind as to what the characters might look like and how events take place within that story. However, when a story is made into a movie, the director's vision is never quite the same as what the reader thought it might be. So here we're setting up that this is going to be a compare and contrast essay between how I think it's going to be when I read the book versus how the director actually made the movie. And I know we've all had those times where we're like, what were they thinking? Okay, so after we've done our hook, the next thing we need to do is introduce our topic. In this case, our topic is a book versus a movie. So we need to introduce which one. So we need to make sure we do The Outsiders. And then we need to introduce our author, which is S.E. Hinton. So you want to make sure that you have both of those there. And keep in mind, we need to underline The Outsiders because it is the title of something. And whenever you have the title of a book or a movie, it must be underlined. Okay, so now that we've introduced that this is S.E. Hinton's The Outsiders, we need to have a summary of the key events that happen in the story. So here is our summary. The story follows a week in the life of the main character, Ponyboy Curtis. During that week, Ponyboy gets jumped, is almost drowned, is involved in the murder of another boy, runs away, saves kids from a church fire, and loses his two friends. That is some crazy week for Ponyboy. Now, that summary was about 2 sentences. So remember, 2 to 3 sentences is what you're looking for a summary. You're not rewriting the entire novel. You just want to focus on the important things that happen and make sure they're in your own words. You may not copy my summary. Finally, we're going to end our introductory paragraph with our thesis statement. Our thesis statement tells the reader what the rest of the paragraph is going to be about. So our thesis statement here kind of starts with a recap of the fact that this is a compare and contrast essay. It says, while many of the experiences between reading the book and watching the movie are the same, there are some important differences. So one of the things we want to focus on here is that we're looking at things that are the same and things that are different. Okay, so again, re-emphasizing this idea of a compare and contrast essay. Well, that's fine and dandy on its own, but a book has a lot of stuff in it, so we want to narrow it down. What exactly is it that we are going to compare and contrast? So we're going to narrow it down to one key area, one specific thing that we are going to compare and contrast while we write, excuse me. So one key area of differences between what the reader imagines and what the movie shows is the scene where Dally dies. So here we have a very specific scene, the scene where Dally dies. It's only a few minutes in the movie. It's even shorter in the book. And again, we're emphasizing this idea of what the reader imagines. In other words, what were you thinking when you were reading the book? How did you see it in your head versus what the movie shows, versus what the director imagined when he made the movie? All right, so that is our introductory paragraph. Remember, it starts with that hook. Bring that reader in, make them want to read your essay. Then it goes to a summary of the book, including the title, The Outsiders, and the author, S.E. Hinton. And remember, you have to assume that your person has never read the book, so a summary is really important. Then to your thesis statement, explain what exactly you will be comparing and contrasting.